Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. Good morning. It is kind of early-ish in the morning. I am trying to get ready for the day. I have one child awake, 2/3 asleep, and my husband is already off to work. I need to blow dry this hair because, you know, it needs to be done so I can just call it all done in the getting ready portion of my day. So I'm gonna do that, and then I thought I would take you along with me as I share a keto-friendly way of eating today. I'd like to thank Element for sponsoring today's video. First things first, we gotta go make some breakfast.
For breakfast today, I have made a rather rustic looking omelet. Every time I try to make an omelet lately, it fails. And so I've taken to just calling them rustic omelets because clearly that does not look like what Jacques Pepin has shared with us when it comes to the creation of omelets. So this is 3 eggs that I scrambled up with some salt. And then in my skillet, I cooked my diced peppers and some crumbled bacon. I didn't have any full strips of bacon out and thawed, so I just grabbed some of these. These aren't the best quality, but they were available and not frozen, therefore I used them. This is from Members Mark Real Crumbled Bacon. I got those sauteing in my skillet first, added my 3 salted scrambled eggs, and then once I attempted to flip it over, I added some of the Colby Jack cheese. I do like to shred mine myself, and so I'm gonna eat that, and I'm still working on my coffee.
I have some sadness to share. I was slicing up bread for my girls for them to have homemade bread toast, and I managed to slice my hand. I'm so clumsy. I have a question. How clumsy are you? Very? On the scale of 0 to 5, how clumsy are you? I'm about 18 on that scale. All right, my piano time is all done. Everything is set up for the girls. Today, trying to wrap my brain around all of the different rhythms and things like that felt very challenging, So that's why I practice, just so that it becomes a little bit less challenging and just a little bit more like fun. But you know, the challenge is also part of the fun, so it's a good thing. It's great, it's great. We have some other things that we are doing today, lesson work and such. So yeah. I'm gonna make sure that children are on task and sort of figure out what I need to do around the house to, you know, keep it together. Y'all, Exhibit B for evidence to be submitted regarding the case of Lindsey being the most clumsy human ever is water all over my sweater here. Brilliant. It's a great day. Listen, I am accident prone, I am clumsy and klutzy. I just got bit by my Norfolk pine. I left this little fella out here. I failed to water it regularly because those don't necessarily, the Norfolk pines, they don't actually like wet feet from what I've read. And so I kind of paused on watering him for a little while. My money tree back here also does not like to sit there in soggy, wet soil. So I kind of was thinking like, oh, I'll just sort of water them together when I water them. Well, my money tree needs less attention than the Norfolk pine apparently, and my humidity has been off, and now I have felt the wrath of my Norfolk pine because it has poked me like needle pokes. I can still feel it. It doesn't actually have any broken skin, but I can still feel the prickles on my hands. That's not good. I also have been trying to get him, you know, to be happy. So I have a cold mist humidifier that I've been running around it during the daytime, just trying to give it some more moisture without waterlogging its root system. So
here is lunch. I have 2 salmon fillets that are about 9 ounces, maybe it's 8.5 ounces there. I had them in the freezer. I am trying to increase my omega-3s, so I thought that was a tasty way to do that. I seasoned those with some Chef's Blend smoked salt, if I can get that. Golly jeepers, can't focus. Oh, it totally figured it out. There we go. All right, some Chef's Blend smoked salt. I have some Brussels sprouts here. I just kind of quartered those up, seasoned them with the salt as well, cooked them in some bacon fat, delicious. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit of my homemade mayonnaise there. I decided that I would pull out a plain seltzer water. This doesn't have any sodium in it whatsoever. It has just carbonated water. That is literally all that is. I pulled out an older cup that I have not used in a long time. I do need some electrolytes, and I have an idea on what I'm gonna do for that in a little bit.
lunch was really tasty, and I'm still a little bit hungry. I have been trying to have some of the L-reuteri fermented dairy every single day just to sort of help with the microbiome in my gut. I am not taking any probiotic supplements or anything like that. This fermented dairy is the only thing I have been consistently, actively purposing to take. And today I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different with it, which is where our sponsor, Element, comes into play. This is citrus salt, and today I'm gonna mix this into my L-reuteri fermented dairy. I love Element. It is a delicious way for me to replenish my electrolytes on a keto diet. It's also really good for athletes because when you sweat, you're losing all of those electrolytes. You gotta replenish them somehow. The Element has none of the junk, none of the fillers, no artificial colorings or flavorings, and it's one of those things where I feel good about using it. My children, I'm comfortable using it with them as well. They use stevia to sweeten any of their flavored packets. They also have a raw, unflavored version. Right now, Element is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order placed on the website. You get all 8 of their main core flavors for free when you order through the Element website using my link. The link is drinkelement.com/LindseyM. That's drinklmnt.com/LindseyM. There will be a link down below. Thank you so much, Element, for sponsoring today's video. That is delightful. It's like lemonade yogurt. It is mid-afternoon, and in about an hour, I have a scheduled thing on the calendar that I need to do, and I was debating, do I go ahead and get a walk in right now? Well, my girls and I, we've been working on schoolwork, you know, all morning and then partway into the afternoon, and they're finishing up some independent work right now that I'd really like for them to stay focused on. And I'm not comfortable with going on a walk around the neighborhood and leaving them home alone. So I can't just like leave the house and go, you know, do a neighborhood walk. And I don't want to take them with me because I want them to stay focused. There's so many things, so many things. Gosh, I could just do walks around my actual property here in order to get a walk in. However, there's other stuff I also need to kind of buckle down and get done, especially like computer work things. So I went ahead and I brewed myself a cup of coffee. This is just decaf black coffee. I'm gonna have that. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Lindsey. I do what I eat in a day content that follows a keto-friendly way of life. And I do what I eat in a day videos, I do recipe videos, I share my goals, my objectives, my focal points for my health and wellness quest. And if those things are interesting to you, I'd love to have you join me. For my returning viewers, thank you so much for being here. I have been trying to focus a lot more on my physical activity and getting more toned. It's a slow rolling process, but I'm still trying to do that a little bit every single day. I think that a little bit of progress every day means that I am much more likely to make it to the end point. So anyway, I'm gonna go get myself set up, drink some coffee, and talk with y'all in a bit. Scheduled tasks have been managed, feeling good about that. And I've already warmed up dinner, so here we go.
I have here a loaded chicken cauli casserole. I have been making this for the past 7 years. This is frozen cauliflower florets that I steam and then drain really, really well. I add a bunch of cooked chicken to that and some cream cheese, a little bit of some of my homemade Greek yogurt, and some different spices and seasonings like a homemade ranch situation. And then I mix all of these things together, mix it together with some Colby Jack cheese, put some bacon bits in it, and then top the whole thing with Colby Jack cheese, stick it in the oven until it's nice and bubbly, pull it out, and serve. So I have 1 serving of that casserole. I also added a tablespoon of homemade Greek yogurt on top to add a little touch more protein, and it takes the place of sour cream. I also doused it in Cholula because I love Cholula. And just plain old water. Plain old water. That's dinner. Final thing I'm going to have today is some chocolate pudding and tea. This is the Yogi brand Throat Coat. It kind of has a little bit of like a licorice kind of a taste. And I actually like the flavor of it, so I drink it regardless of how my throat feels. So I'm gonna have a cup of that. I also have some chocolate pudding. Joe over at 2 Crazy Ketos has a chocolate pudding recipe on their website using Keto Chow Core. And so I decided to give that a try, but you know me, I couldn't just leave well enough alone. So I kind of followed the recipe, but I kind of didn't. I followed everything except I used monk fruit, pure monk fruit drops. And instead of adding extra cocoa powder, I added, where is it? Oh, come on. Where's my focus? I added chocolate extract from Olive Nation to bump up the chocolate flavor. And instead of using a can of coconut milk, I just used almond milk that I had opened in my fridge. This is only about 40% of that recipe, and I doubt that I'll eat this entire thing. I'll probably have half of this.
All right, that pudding was delightful. I ate half of the bowl, and it was like, light and airy and very milk chocolatey. I was not expecting that. Usually like I really like a dark chocolate flavor, but that truly tasted like milk chocolate to me. That was fantastic. And it hadn't even fully set yet. Like it was still a little touch warm in the middle. So I can't imagine what it's gonna be like tomorrow when I have some more of it. Did y'all ever do stovetop cooked pudding, like the Jello pudding that you had to cook and serve? Oh man, I used to love making those when I was a kid. And one of my favorite parts of that was getting the skin on top of the pudding and eating the skin. I know that that's probably disgusting to lots of people, but I know there's gotta be somebody out there who loved to eat the pudding skins. Oh, well, the pudding that I made, it did have a skin on top, which was fantastic. I love that so much. Okay, my tea has hardly gone down because I've been letting it steep. I like to leave my tea bags in my tea for like extended periods of time, like the entire time I'm drinking the tea. And then I go back and just add more hot water and do a re-steeping of the tea. So I don't know, it's just a thing I do. Don't forget to check out that description box for Joe's recipe. I'm gonna link directly to their printable website recipe for you. And I also have links down there of different products or brands that I work with if you feel so inclined to help support my channel. I know YouTube has really awesome algorithms where they can guess what video you want to watch next. So I'm gonna see if YouTube wants to put something right there for you. I hope to see you in that video.